The screen glows with a harsh blue light. You stare at the bank balance, then look down at the physical stack of bills on the table. Each one is a reminder. You recount the numbers, hoping the total has shifted, but it remains the same. The math is relentless. You work through the week, you track every cent, yet the pile of paper never shrinks. It only shifts. A late notice here. A utility payment there. You push the chair back, the legs scraping against the floor, and pace the room. The space feels smaller than it did an hour ago. You look at the calendar pinned to the wall, counting the days until the next paycheck arrives, knowing exactly where those funds will vanish before they even hit your account. This is the rhythm of the wall. It is the sound of a revolving door that never stops spinning. You stand in the center of the room, listening to the hum of the refrigerator, feeling the weight of the silence. There is no room to breathe. There is only the next payment, the next deadline, and the constant, dull pressure of being trapped in a cycle you cannot break. You tell yourself the lie again. Investing is for the wealthy, for people with inheritances or massive salaries. It is a playground you were never invited to enter. You look at the $100 remaining in your account at the end of the month. It feels like a mockery. If you save it, it stays 100. It does nothing. It sits there. And losing value to the slow grind of prices rising outside your door. So, you reach for a different option. You think of the dinner reservation you saw online, or the display window with the new bag. You picture the feeling of the heavy fabric, the warmth of a meal you did not have to cook. You decide to spend the money. You click the button. You walk into the store. You exchange the cash for a tangible object that you can hold right now. It is instant. It is real. It is a temporary shield against the feeling of being trapped. You tell yourself that you deserve this. You tell yourself that $100 would not have changed your future anyway. You close the tab, put the phone down, and lean back, satisfied with the immediate gain. You have chosen the present over the future because the future feels too far away to ever reach. If you are in your 20s or early 30s and this cycle of consumption defines your life, listen closely. This is the moment your perspective shifts. Look at the Jewish community. They hold significant influence in global finance, yet they rarely start with millions. Their secret is not hidden in secret vaults or complex schemes. They build wealth when they have almost nothing. They leverage the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest, starting with just a few dollars. We are not talking about dry economics or academic theory. We are talking about a mechanical, automated, and boring strategy that turns your current lack of capital into a financial fortress. You have been trained to think that wealth creation requires a large initial sum. You are wrong. The math does not care about your starting balance. It only cares about the duration of time and the consistency of the input. They treat money like a seed. They plant it, they protect it, and they let the mechanics of growth take over. By focusing on the system rather than the immediate gratification of a purchase, they change the trajectory of their lives. It is time to stop viewing your bank account as a temporary holding pen for expenses and start viewing it as the foundation of your future security. The trap of the young professional is a quiet, tightening pressure. You wake up and check the listings. A studio apartment 5 miles further from your office costs more than your entire monthly take-home pay. You look at your salary. It is the same number it was last year. It is the same number it will be next year. The math does not add up. Every month, the walls move an inch closer. You are working harder, logging longer hours, and yet the distance between your income and the cost of basic survival grows wider. It is a physical weight. You feel it when you sit at your desk. You feel it when you look at the rent notice taped to your door. You are running at full speed just to stay in the same place. You look for an exit, but the market is a locked room. Every attempt to save is countered by a price hike. Every promotion is canceled out by inflation. You are not just struggling, you are being squeezed. The cage is not built of iron bars, but of numbers that refuse to bend to your effort. You look around. and you see everyone else running the same race, trapped in the same loop, waiting for a break that never arrives. To cope with the pressure, you reach for immediate relief. You walk into the cafe and order the drink that costs $7. You pay for it without looking at the price. It is a small, bitter ritual that signals you are still in control of something. You plan the weekend trip, booking the flight and the room on a credit card that carries a high balance. You call it a reward for the long hours. You call it a necessity for your mental health. In reality, it is the anesthetic of the modern age. You are practicing comfortable poverty. You trade your future capital for the sensation of being wealthy today. It is a transaction that feels like progress, but it is actually a retreat. Every expensive coffee is an investment you choose not to make. Every unaffordable trip is a future asset you spend before it is ever created. You tell yourself that you deserve these small luxuries because the larger goals seem impossible to reach. You are not buying experiences. You are buying silence from the voice that tells you your bank account is shrinking. You are trading your financial freedom for a temporary buffer against the reality of your stagnant income. It is a trap that feels like a lifestyle, and it is the single greatest obstacle between you and the fortress you need to build. You keep waiting for the perfect moment to start. You tell yourself that next month will be different. You will have more cash, less stress, and a clear path forward. But the calendar does not care about your plans. Next month arrives with a wedding invitation and the inevitable cost of a gift and travel. The month after that, your engine light flickers on. The repair bill wipes out your savings before you even touch the principal. You push the investment goal further down the timeline. You treat time as a renewable resource, something you can simply pull from the future when life finally slows down. You are wrong. Every month, you delay, you are burning your most valuable asset. Time is not a static background element, it is the engine of growth. By waiting for stability, you ensure that you never achieve it. You are running in place, watching the potential for compound growth vanish, while you focus on the immediate, noisy demands of your day-to-day life. The unease grows because you know the truth. The perfect moment is a fiction you tell yourself to avoid the discomfort of starting now. Every day you wait is a day of lost opportunity that you can never recover. The clock is ticking, and it is not waiting for your bank balance to look better. Now, look at a different path. In the Jewish community, financial strength is not treated as a gamble or a stroke of fortune. It is a fundamental habit, as routine as waking up. They do not wait for a windfall or a perfect salary. They begin with almost nothing. Look at how they approach a newborn in the family. A parent or grandparent does not buy a toy that loses value in a week. They open an investment account. They make a small, consistent contribution. It is not about the size of the initial deposit. It is about the existence of the ledger entry. They are planting a seed before the child can even speak. By the time that child enters adulthood, they do not view the market as a place of danger or mystery. They have 20 years of evidence showing them that small, boring, automated actions produce results. They have spent 2 decades watching their money work for them while they grew up. This removes the paralyzing fear of the unknown. It proves that wealth is not a secret reserved for the elite. It is a systematic process. It is a choice to prioritize the future over the immediate impulse. Financial success is built through this quiet, repetitive discipline, not through luck. And it starts the moment you decide to move from chaos to a system. Imagine the perspective of that child at 20. They open a digital ledger. They see 2 decades of steady, automated entries. Every month, a tiny sum was added. They see the graph climb, not in a straight line, but in a jagged, upward trajectory. When the market dipped in their teenage years, they did not see a catastrophe. They saw a period where their monthly contributions bought more units of value. They watched the math unfold. They saw the interest compound, slowly at first, then with increasing momentum. This is the foundation of their confidence. They do not fear the market because they have never known it to be anything other than a tool for creation. They have witnessed wealth emerge from a baseline of zero. They have seen the system absorb shocks and continue to expand. For them, the economy is not a casino where you win or lose on a whim. It is a machine that functions whether they are sleeping, studying, or working. They have developed a calm, clinical understanding of growth. They do not look for shortcuts because they have 20 years of proof that the boring, automated path works. Their financial intelligence is not theoretical. It is a physical reality they have tracked since birth. They possess a quiet certainty that you currently lack, built entirely on the evidence of time. Now, contrast that proven reality with the roadmap you were handed. You were told the script: finish school, get the grades, land the stable job, and save your money in a bank. This is the traditional path. It is presented as your safety net. In truth, it is a trap. You follow these steps, expecting security, but the ground shifts beneath you. The world has changed, yet your strategy remains frozen in the past. You watch your colleagues follow this same manual, waiting for a house to become affordable, waiting for a pay raise that never outpaces costs. They are not building a fortress. They are standing in a field during a storm. The roadmap is a lie that keeps you compliant while your options evaporate. You rely on a savings account that yields nothing, believing you are being responsible. You are not safe. You are choosing a path that guarantees your stagnation. The danger is not in taking action, but in the blind adherence to a system designed to keep you limited. When the traditional safety net fails, you find yourself with no leverage and no time left to recover. You have been walking toward a cliff, believing it was a bridge. It is time to recognize the danger in your current trajectory before the path ends completely. Look at your bank account. You see the number. It stays the same, or perhaps it grows by a fraction of a percent. You feel a sense of stability. That feeling is the primary mechanism of your decline. While your balance sits idle, the world outside moves. The cost of a cup of coffee climbs. The rent on your apartment ticks upward. The price of fuel, bread, and electricity pushes higher every single quarter. This is inflation. It is not a news headline. It is a predator. It hunts your purchasing power while you sleep. Every day your money remains in a standard savings account at 1% interest. It loses value. You are not keeping your money safe. You are watching it evaporate. Imagine you have $100 today. A year from now, that same $100 buys 10% less than it does right now. You have not spent a cent, yet you are poorer. You have made a decision to lose. This is a slow-motion liquidation of your future. You are paying a tax on your own hesitation. The bank is not protecting you. It is using your capital to build its own wealth while your slice of the pie shrinks. Doing nothing is not a neutral act. It is a guaranteed, compounding loss that you authorize every time you leave your money stagnant. The pressure builds because you are waiting for a signal that will never come. You look for a sign, a moment of genius, or a windfall that justifies the leap. You think you need a degree in finance or the cunning of a market shark to escape. You are wrong. The trap relies entirely on your hesitation. It feeds on the belief that you are not ready, that you need more, that you are just a spectator in the game of wealth. This is the breaking point. You have been waiting for the perfect conditions to start, but the calendar does not care about your readiness. The bills continue to arrive. The housing market continues to climb. The cycle of the young professional is designed to keep you caged, focused on the immediate, and blind to the structural reality of your own decline. Every day you wait, you surrender the only tool that can save you: time. You do not need to be a visionary. You do not need to be a master of complex theories. You need to stop accepting the cage. The system is rigged against the passive, but it is built for the intentional. Look at your life right now. You are trapped. If you do not force a change in your trajectory today, The path you are on will remain your reality forever. The pressure to break this cycle is the most important force you will ever feel. The solution is not a miracle. It is a machine. You stop trying to time the market and instead build a system that works while you sleep. The answer is automated dollar cost averaging. You commit to $100 a month. That is $3 a day. Look at your daily habits. Skip that morning coffee. Bypass the convenience store snack. Those $3 are the ammunition you need to fight back against your own poverty. You set up a transfer for a specific day each month. It happens without you. It happens even when you are tired, distracted, or tempted to spend on something fleeting. You stop managing your money and start managing a system. By automating the contribution, you remove the emotional burden of the choice. You are no longer a victim of your own impulses. You are the architect of your own financial fortress. Every month, the system buys a slice of the global economy regardless of the price. You are building wealth through consistency, not through luck. This is the moment you stop being a spectator. You take that $100, you pull the trigger on the automation, and you let the math do the heavy lifting for the next 20 years. The cage door is unlocked. You only need to push it open. Now, the real test begins. You will watch the numbers flicker on your screen. You will see the market dip, and your instinct will be to pull your money out. Stop. You are currently confusing volatility with risk. Volatility is nothing more than the weather. It is the rain, the wind, and the occasional storm that every economy must endure to grow. It changes constantly, but the ground remains. True risk is not a temporary drop in a chart. True risk is keeping your money in a savings account, losing value every single day to the slow erosion of inflation. That is a guaranteed loss. When the market crashes, the amateur panics and sells. The professional does nothing. You have already set your automated transfer. You have already committed to the long term. When prices fall, your system simply buys more. When prices rise, your balance grows. You stop staring at the red and green flashes. You stop checking the balance every hour. You develop a cold, mechanical resolve that ignores the noise. The market is not a casino where you bet your savings on a hunch. It is a machine that functions whether you are watching or not. You have replaced fear with a system. You have replaced impulse with logic. You are finally, undeniably in control. Now you must understand exactly what you are holding. Most people treat the market like a betting parlor. They hunt for the next big win, chasing individual companies and hoping for a miracle. They are gambling. They are playing a game designed to strip them of their capital. You are done with that. When you buy a broad market index fund, you do not bet on a single horse. You buy the entire track, the stadium, and the franchise. You stop being a spectator at the periphery and move to the center of global production. Every time a factory opens, a new technology launches, or a service scales, you own a microscopic, permanent piece of that growth. This is not a guess. This is an acquisition. By holding a slice of the global economy, you align your future with the collective progress of humanity. If the world continues to innovate, your wealth compounds. The fear of failure vanishes because you are no longer dependent on one company, one CEO, or one localized disaster. You own the engine of progress itself. This is the profound security you have been missing. You are no longer gambling with your savings. You are steadily building a fortress of ownership that grows wider and deeper with every passing day. You are not a player in someone else's game. You are an owner of the world. The final step is the hardest. You must walk away. You have built the machine, you have set the automation, and now you must let it run. The urge to check your balance, to obsess over the daily fluctuations, is a relic of your past life. It is a hunger for control where none is needed. When the market booms, you do not lean in with greed. When it crashes, you do not recoil with panic. You remain indifferent. You treat your portfolio like a clock on the wall. It keeps time whether you watch it or not. Delete the finance apps from your phone. Clear the bookmarks from your browser. The system is working in the background. A silent, unblinking engine of accumulation. By removing your eyes from the charts, you remove your emotions from the outcome. You are no longer a frantic participant in the daily noise. You are a silent observer of a long-term process. This is the ultimate peak of the strategy. It is not about the money you see on the screen, but the mental space you reclaim. You stop trading your peace of mind for temporary updates. You have achieved the most rare form of wealth, the ability to live your life without looking back at the machine. It is running. It is growing. It is enough. Now look at the math. This is where the theory becomes a weapon. If you commit to $100 every single month, you are setting aside $18,000 over 15 years. To most, that looks like a slow, painful crawl. But look closer at what that money does when it is left to breathe inside the market. That $18,000 does not stay static. Through the relentless, automated engine of compounding, it swells to nearly $40,000. You have effectively doubled your capital without doing a single day of extra labor. You did not hunt for secrets. You did not chase trends. You simply gave your money enough time to work for you. This is the visual anchor you need. Witnessing that leap from a modest pile of savings to a significant financial base changes how you view your own potential. It is not about becoming a millionaire overnight. It is about understanding that your small, consistent actions have a multiplier effect that eventually outpaces your ability to earn. You start to see that the barrier was never the amount of money you had, but the amount of time you were willing to wait. You are no longer struggling. You are accumulating. You are watching your future expand in real time. If you hold the line for another decade, the math stops being linear and starts to defy your expectations. 25 years of consistent, automated contributions total $30,000. But look at the account balance now. It has surged past $100,000. This is the moment of triumph. You are no longer looking at a stack of bills or a dwindling bank balance. You are staring at a fortress of your own making. That six-figure sum is not just a number on a statement. It is the leverage you need to pivot your life. It is the capital required to launch a business, the down payment that secures a permanent home, or the foundation that grants you the ability to walk away from a job that no longer serves you. You have successfully weaponized time. You have transformed $3 a day into a life-altering force. This is the tangible result of choosing the long game over the fleeting comfort of a new purchase. The cage is gone. You now possess the resources to dictate your own terms. You have bridged the gap between the person who struggles to survive and the person who builds to thrive. The math is simple, but the impact is absolute. You have arrived at the point where your money works harder than you ever could. But the true reward is not the balance on the screen. It is the person you have become to reach this point. You are no longer the individual who stares at a pile of bills with dread, paralyzed by the fear of being unable to cover the basics. That version of you has been replaced. You have developed a cold, clinical discipline that governs your choices. You see the world differently now. When the market dips, you do not feel the urge to sell. When the economy booms, you do not chase the hype. You have built an emotional fortress that stands firm against the noise. You have cultivated a level of financial intelligence that turns every paycheck into a strategic move rather than a desperate necessity. You look at your life and you see a system that functions without your constant anxiety. You have transitioned from a spectator of your own financial ruin to the architect of your own stability. You possess the mental clarity that comes with knowing your future is secured by your own hand. This is the ultimate victory. The stress that once defined your month has been replaced by the quiet confidence of a master. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are actively building it, one automated, boring, and brilliant decision at a time. There is an old proverb that holds the weight of your entire financial future. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. You might feel the sting of that truth, looking back at the years you spent chasing instant gratification instead of building, but the second half of that proverb is where your power lies. The second best time to plant a tree is today. This is not about rushing to catch up. It is about the quiet, urgent necessity of starting. Stop looking for the perfect moment. It does not exist. Stop waiting for your income to double before you commit to the strategy. Wealth is not built in a sprint. It is built slowly, quietly, and consistently. You have the tools. You have the system. You have the knowledge that volatility is merely the weather, not the end of the world. Now, you must act. Plant the seed. Let it take root in the market. Do not dig it up to check the growth. Do not panic when the wind shifts. Let the process run. Financial freedom is not a stroke of luck or a sudden windfall. It is a choice you make, and you make it right now. The soil is ready. The season for waiting has ended. Take the final step. Close this screen, open your banking application, and set the automation. It takes less than 5 minutes. A few clicks to establish the transfer, a few more to select your index fund, and the machine begins to work. You are not just moving money, you are locking in your future. Once that recurring transfer is active, walk away. Do not check it every hour. Do not obsess over the fluctuations. Your work here is finished. The system is now holding the weight you used to carry on your own shoulders. Years from now, you will reach a moment where you look back at this specific day. You will think of the version of yourself that decided to stop waiting and start building. That future version of you will feel a profound, quiet gratitude for the decision you are making right now. You have transformed uncertainty into a steady, rising tide. You have built a foundation that will support your family, your business, and your freedom. The path is clear. The automation is set. Your life is no longer a series of reactive struggles, but a deliberate, compounding climb. You have secured your own horizon. You are ready.